Hi, Samantha. Hello. Hi, Samantha. Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Samantha Uncut, where I discuss celebrity news, hot topics, reality TV, and so much more. All commentary is alleged and, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Hello, everyone. So I'm going to try to get through some of the review for Beyond the Gates. It's the new soap opera. It's an all-black daytime soap opera that aired on CBS. I believe it aired on the 24th of February. So I'm going to be reviewing and recapping the episodes. So this is my first attempt. I'm a little bit behind, but let's get into it. So the episode 1 starts off with Nicole Dupree driving up to meet her mother, who is Anita Dupree. So the series it revolves around the Dupree family, and they live in a gated community. So Nicole is driving up to meet her mother, Anita, at the country house. Nicole is driving in a black Mercedes sedan. She pulled up to the Fairmont on Crest country club, and she is looking fabulous. She's dressed in this long feather gray coat with a matching skirt with a high slit, a black rouge top, matching gloves, and a black Donna Karan woven bag with this gold buckle. She is looking fabulous, just divine. Like she's just looking like money. So she walks up to the country club. She meets her mother, who is Anita Dupree, as I said before. So Anita walks in, and from the back, you can see her luscious gray wavy hair, her luxurious fur coat, and she is carrying a Brahmin Carolyn bag. She also walk in just looking like pure luxury. Just they all just look like money, right? And so they both walk in. Anita walks up to the reception, whose name is Calvin. He takes her coat, greeted her, and then Nicole walks in, and they both greeted each other. Calvin takes their coat and lets them know that if they need anything, then they should let him know. So Anita turns to Nicole and says, have you heard from Danny? So this is where we are first introduced to who Danny is. Danny is the younger sister of Nicole. So, Nicole lets Anita know that she texted Danny, but she hasn't heard anything from her as yet. And then Anita says she hopes that no news is good news, because if Danny is out there letting her emotions get the best of her, then God have mercy on everybody. So basically in this moment, we're realizing that there's some issues with Danny. We don't know what the issue is yet, but coming up, we'll find out what the problem is with Danny and why her emotions would be out of whack. So they finally sit down for their breakfast, and Anita says to Nicole that it's amazing how two sisters who had the same advantages, the same environment, grew up to be so different. And basically, she's just talking about how Nicole is a doctor. She seems like her life is together, but Danny, her life is like falling apart. So based on the conversation, you're getting little bits and pieces about what's happening with Danny. So Nicole says to her mom that, the environment at this moment doesn't matter because Danny was blindsided by Bill and Haley's affair. So now we get to understand what is going on with Danny without seeing Danny on screen as yet, or seeing Bill and Haley on screen as yet. So we now know that Danny is married to Bill, but he had an affair with Haley, and Danny was blindsided by that affair. And that is why her emotion is all over the place at this moment. So they continue to discuss the Danny and Bill situation, and Anita is saying that Bill had moved out months ago, so she had hoped that Danny had some inclination that the marriage is over. And then it's confirmed that Danny and Bill, they are divorced. And now, at the end of that divorce, Bill is now getting married to Haley, and they have booked the country club for their wedding. So the country club seems to be the focal point of where the Duprees would meet, have their breakfast, lunch, or whatever. And they seem to be connected to the country club in some sense. So by Danny being upset that they booked the country club, it's building onto the story of who the Duprees are, the breakdown of Danny's marriage. And at this point, we still haven't seen Danny on screen yet. So we're going to get into that. So the next scene over is with Danny. She is in her home and she is looking at the wedding invitation from Bill and Haley. Danny is wearing this dark red / burgundy, cardigan over a multicolored feathered nightgown. She looks stunning. She has a slender frame and her hair is like raven black and it's sectioned off into a center part. And she walks up to take out like a cup, like she's gonna make some tea. And then she was looking at the cup and my girl just took the cup and she fling it all to to one side of the room. So she flinged the cup shattered all over the place. Then she calmed down a little bit and then she took up another cup, like, she's getting her emotions in check and she's calming down. Then she took up the second cup and she threw it again. And this time she threw it with such rage and anger. You could see her face is just filled with anger. And that was the introduction to Danny Dupree. Like, you can tell she's fierce, she's beautiful, she is just I'm excited to see her character, how her character develops, because just from that one little scene, I was like, oh, okay. So then Danny's friend Vanessa walks in. Vanessa is a clear woman. She is later on you'll find out that she is a real estate broker. But so she walks in, she sees all these broken cups on the floor, and she said to Danny, "So much for coming over for a cup of coffee." Danny lets her know that there's plenty more cups where those came from. And so Vanessa saw that that Danny still have the wedding invitation, and she asked Danny, why didn't she throw it in the garbage like everyone else did? And Danny turned to her and said, it's just the audacity of Bill to want to marry Haley at the club, and how Danny will be the laughing stock of the country club. And Vanessa quickly reminded her that she should not let this get to her and she should remember who she is. Basically, she's telling Danny that she is Fairmont. No one will be laughing at her because her grandfather built the community and like everyone is on her side. And so she told Danny that, why don't you just try to do something for yourself, do some self-care, maybe like the spa or something like that to get your mind off of all of that. So Danny says to her she will maybe later on, but she has to meet with her mother and sister at the country club. So back at the country club, Anita and Nicole is talking about their dislike for Bill, and they're dogging Bill out. They were saying how he is phony, how he used Nicole's dad, whose name is Vernon, to further his career. And they also talk about how they wish that Danny didn't throw away her career just for Bill because she was so wrapped up in becoming Bill's wife. And then Nicole lets Anita know that Naomi is running a little bit late because I guess they're all meeting at the country club for breakfast. Naomi is Danny's oldest daughter, and we'll be introduced to her like later on, because in the next scene over, child, Naomi is getting it on with her husband. The scene is steamy hot. They're kissing, they're rubbing on each other, they're in this bed. And yeah, then we go over to this Claire couple. So the Claire couple is Derek and Ashley. Ashley is a nurse, and she walks into her living room in her scrubs, and Derek is standing there half naked with an apron on. He made breakfast for her, and then they kiss, and everything seems all romantic. I feel like this was just a filler scene, or I don't know what their importance is as yet, but they kiss, and he's just they're just doing their lovey-dovey things. And then we go back over to Danny, who had to call her youngest daughter, Chelsea, to remind her about her fitting, I guess, for the wedding that is coming up, her father's wedding. And then, Chelsea said she remembers. She was a little bit annoyed with Danny, because it seems like Danny's a little bit overbearing. And Danny was telling Vanessa that, Chelsea is ungrateful. She is a 23-year-old successful model. She has the kind of life that any 23-year-old would on a life for. So she should be grateful. And Vanessa just reminded Danny that, sometimes she can be a little bit overbearing, and she puts a lot of pressure on to Chelsea, and she should kind of take a little bit of step back. And in this scene, we find out that Danny used to be a model in her earlier days. So I'm guessing that's the career that she threw away to become married to Bill. And in the next scene with Chelsea, she is talking to her cousin Kat. She referred to her as Kat. I don't know if it's short for Catherine or for something else, but anyways, she is saying to Kat that, Danny's a little bit overbearing, but she's her mom and she has to be there for her. So it seems that both of them, Kat and Chelsea, they're supposed to be launching this first line, and Kat seems very excited about it. However, Chelsea is delaying the launch because she's trying to be there for Danny, because she said that Danny is taking the whole divorce from Bill a little bit harder. So she doesn't want to just walk away from her, and so her mom can just lose everything that defines her. So yeah. So back over at the country club, we have Nicole and Anita, and Nicole revealed that she is getting some prestigious award from the state of Maryland in psychology. And we find out that Anita is actually an EGOT winner. So an EGOT is when you win an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and the Tony Awards. There's only a handful of Black individual or Black women who have won that. I know that Jennifer Hudson is one of those individuals. I think also Candy Burris is also one of those people as well. But anyways, she's an EGOT winner, and she's letting Nicole know that she's very proud of her, of the work that she's doing, and she's following in her father's footsteps. And that's when we meet, finally, Haley. Haley walks in wearing this long leopard or cheetah print coat, and she's talking to the coordinator for the wedding. And so the coordinator is letting her know that the wedding is a few days away, and she still hasn't given her the final head count. And Haley said that she wants all her guests to be accommodated. The coordinator said to her that, well, ma'am, your guests, some of them haven't responded, and the ones that did respond said they ain't coming. So Haley says that she's gonna be optimistic about the whole thing, and cost is no problem. And right then and there, we have Danny walking in looking just gorgeous, fabulous. She's wearing this red Naomi dress from Fumi the label. Shout out to Fumi, because she is a Toronto brand. So Danny is walking in wearing this long red dress with a zebra print fur coat. So the reception takes Danny's coat. Haley walks over to say hi to Danny, and the stare that Danny gave her, girl, if you could just bury yourself, I would have buried myself. So anyways, she says hi to Danny, and Danny responded with a ice cold what? And she's basically telling Danny how she's sorry about how things are between her, Chelsea, Naomi. My girl, you are marrying the girl's husband or ex-husband. How do you think things would turn out? Like, delusional. Anyway, so she goes on to talk to Danny about the whole situation and how she's sorry and how she wishes things were different. And Danny's just standing here staring at her with like the ice cold eyes. So Danny tells Haley that she's delusional, basically. Like, she didn't say the word delusional, but I'm saying that she said she's delusional, and how she basically backstabbed everyone. And then in this moment, we find out that Naomi and Haley, they were best friends, and that Haley is an orphan, and that the Duprees, they basically took her in, and they were friends. They were very close with Haley, and Haley ended up basically stealing Danny's husband. Haley tried to like hug Danny, and Danny basically told her, bitch, back up. Like, it ain't no room over here for any of that. She gave her the stank stare, and then she walked over to her mom and sister. And then they flashed to this scene with the Claire couple, Derek and Ashley, irrelevant, because they were just there talking about how Ashley's going to be starting her new job at this hospital, and how much she's a selfless person, and how Derek thanks her for loving. A bunch of foolishness. Back to the Duprees. So Danny is going off on how she is mad at herself for trusting Haley, and how she's the one that persuaded Bill to hire Haley while Haley was trying to move in on Bill. And so Nicole and Anita is trying to reassure her and tell her that, you know, it's gonna be okay and whatnot. And then she said that, child, why Anita gonna say this is not the first time that Bill has cheated, and then Danny is gonna say that, you know, it's not that he cheated, it's just that before Haley, Bill would cheat, but he would keep his affairs away from the home. Girl, what? So you're not upset that he's cheating, you're upset because the affair, you know about it, it's somebody you know, and it's close to home. Danny, I feel like throwing in that, you know, the Tyra Banks meme where it says, I was rooting for you. Like, girl, why are you okay with... Anyways. She then says that, you know, when Bill was cheating and he kept his cheating ways away from the home, it was easier to pretend that they weren't there. Girl, I can't. Anyways, we then now move to the next scene where we finally meet Mr. Bill, the cheater. Okay, so we go to the scene where Bill is at his office. He walks in with his briefcase. You know, he just dressed like a cheater. He just dressed like a cheater. The trench coat, the black trench coat, looking all fine with his beard, like the gray in his beard, and he has a little bit of blonde in the beard, and he's perfect eyebrows, perfect lineup. He just looks like a cheater. So Bill is a lawyer, and he is talking to his assistant, whose name is Caroline or something like that. And she's talking to him about his schedule for the next coming days because he has his wedding coming up. And he's there talking to her about, oh, you know what this is? It's like a new dawn. Get away from here. Only God can tell me he's not even sleeping with that assistant. Who knows? Later on, we'll probably find out he's sleeping with her too. So then we go to the next scene where Haley is, where Haley arrived at the house that she is purchasing for her and Bill. And so this is where we find out that Vanessa is her sales agent, and Vanessa, who is friends with Danny. So Vanessa lets her in, and she's like, I can't believe I'm going to be living in Fairmont. Like, girl, She's so red, yay. Anyways, so Vanessa says to her, what are you thinking? Like, what are you doing? You do realize that Fairmont is basically belongs to the Duprees, and everyone is going to rally around the Duprees and Danny. And if anything goes wrong, they will ice you out. Like, nobody's gonna have your back. And basically, she's telling Haley that Bill is not really a part of the community. He's only an extension of Danny. And Vanessa is letting her know that nobody likes you. So Haley is saying, oh, me and Bill, we didn't set out to fall in love. It just happened. And Vanessa is just looking at her with like the bitch, you crazy like face. Like, that's the face she has on, while Haley is just saying, oh, she's gonna remain positive, but she knows it's gonna take some time for everyone to warm up to her and for everyone to like her, even though she know that Danny is probably trying to turn everyone against her. Yeah, damn right, she's trying to turn everyone against him because you stole her husband. Anyways, Vanessa gave her the keys for the home and told her, good luck, you're gonna need it. And so that was that scene. And then we go over to the scene where we're introduced to Vernon Dupree, and he is with his grandson Martin. So Martin Richardson. He is the son of Nicole. So they met up at some, I think it's it looks like a bakery, and they're sitting down talking about Martin's work. He is a congressman. Child, he looking fine. He's looking so sexy, handsome, nice hairline, nice teeth, nice smile, all of that good stuff. So Vernon is telling him how he cares about the work that he is doing and how he's so proud of him. And then here comes Martin talking about, yeah, he is proud of himself and he's proud of the work that he's doing. And he wants more because his granddad was saying how he has the perfect family, he has the beautiful kids, and then he talking about he want more. I know this guy better not be talking about wanting to break up no family, no nothing, because you know how these scenes are when you're watching these shows, when these guys start talking about they have the perfect life, but they start talking about, oh, they want more. More usually means the 15%. They're ready to leave the 85% for the 15%. So anyways, that was that scene. And then we go over to the scene with Naomi. So now we're finally being introduced to Naomi fully. She is a beautiful black woman with her wearing her natural hair. She is with her husband, his name is Jacob. And so they're literally just getting dressed after their little intimate moment that they were having. And he is talking to her about what she's going to do for the rest of the day. She's telling him that she's going to be checking on her mom. And basically in this scene, we find out that there's a strain on Naomi and Bill's relationship based on the cheating that he has been doing with Haley. Haley is Naomi's best friend. So obviously you can imagine the rift there between Haley, Naomi, and Bill. Anyways, they seem to be a nice couple. Naomi obviously can't get enough of her husband, so they go back to doing their intimate act instead of her getting up to go out the door. But one thing I will say about Jacob, he is a police officer, but I don't know, I'm getting a little bit of a cheater vibe from him. I don't know. These men, I don't know. We'll see. So after that, we have another filler scene where they're back to Martin and Vernon, where they met some fan of theirs, or a lady by the name of Bessie comes up to them and letting them know that she appreciates the work that they're doing, and how she's basically giving him praise, both of them praises, about when Vernon was a senator and all of that, and back in the day, the things that he has done, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, filler scene, not very important. Then we go over to Bill, who is at his office. He met with a friend. I think his name is Wayne. So the friend came to his office asking for help with his son who has a DRUG problem. The son broke into someone's home and stole some valuable items. So Wayne is asking Bill, because Bill is an attorney, so he's asking Bill to assist him with getting his son representation. And then we're back with Danny, Anita, and Nicole, where Danny's still going off about Haley and Bill. And then Nicole and Anita is just telling her that she needs to calm down, not think about them. Danny is getting mad at Nicole because Nicole has a perfect life, perfect husband who wouldn't cheat on her. Basically just taking shots at Nicole because she's angry at Bill and Haley. And they're, Anita and Nicole is just basically telling her like, it's not their fault that Bill has done what he did. So anyways, Danny said that she'll feel better once she basically, when she gets her revenge. Then we go over to the Claire couple again. Ashley, I think her name is Ashley, and Derek, they're still in their lovey-dovey phase. He's gonna be taking her to the hospital because she's working at the hospital, and she's there telling him, he's the only man she'll ever need. And I just feel like, this is a setup, because I feel like Ashley's about to cheat on this man. So then we're back over to Naomi and her husband. In this scene now, we find out that Naomi actually knows, Ashley. They both work at the hospital. Okay, so we're getting somewhere now. Naomi got her a gift, and Jacob wanted to know what the gift is. And I don't know why I get the spidey sense that Jacob might be cheating with Ashley, but we'll see. We will see. But anyways, she shows him the gift, and then she also shows him that she got him handcuffs, because I guess they're still in their little kinky phase. They want to try new things to spice up their marriage. Anyways, they're all lovey-dovey. Then we go to the next scene where we're back at the country club, and we have Anita, Nicole, and Danny. They're now meeting with Vernon and Martin. So they're all meeting up, and Danny is still talking about Bill and Bill cheating and how she gave up her world for Bill and how things should have never turned out this way and how she feels confused and hurt and blah, blah, blah. Oh, Danny is losing it over some man. Like, she is losing it. Her dad literally had to take her hand and say to her, like, reassure her that she is beautiful. She's smart. She gave Bill power that he did not earn. Like, he was just speaking life into her. And this is so beautiful to see, because you don't really see that among Black families. So to see this on screen of a father like instilling that power back into their child, it's very good to see. Then up next, we have a few more filler scenes. We have the scene with Bill and Wayne, I think his name was. Whoever the friend is that came and asked for the help with his son, Bill basically made a phone call, and the people who got robbed, they won't be pressing any charges. Bill told the friend that, oh, it's no big deal. He'll just owe him one. He doesn't have to pay anything right now. Then we go back to the Duprees. The grandchildren are there, including Naomi and Chelsea and Catherine. So they're there. They're all talking about, love and foolishness. Filler scene. Then we go to the hospital with Ashley. Now we're introduced to a new character who is Andre. It looks like he is the son of Nicole. And I don't know, but Ashley and Andre seem to be flirting in this scene a little bit too much. At first I thought she was going to be hooking up with Jacob, but maybe she'll be hooking up with Andre. We'll see. So the next scene, Bill and Haley, they're on a FaceTime call. Haley's just providing an update to him about the house, how beautiful the house is. Bill is on his sleaziness where he's just like, oh, come to my hotel, or he wants to meet up with her for some intimacy, I should say. Anyways, she tells him that she's gonna go over to the country club because she's hungry. And then back over at the country club, you have Vernon and Anita just expressing gratitude for their family and letting each child know and their grandchildren how much they love and care about them. In comes Vanessa, who sold the house to Haley. She comes in and let everyone know that that Haley bought the house in Fairmont and she will now be living in the community. Danny is pissed. Danny is so pissed. Everyone is like telling her to calm down because she's like, so the plan is to now flaunt her in my face and I have to just sit around and take it. And then Nicole is trying to tell her that Bill is able to move and live wherever he wants to. And Danny looks over and see Haley, and she says she is done. She's not taking any more disrespect. So she goes over to talk to Haley, and she's basically telling Haley, like, she's basically cussing Haley off and telling her, like, you are moving like down the street from me. How dare you? Basically, she's just letting her have it, and everyone is just watching. In this moment, we finally see Miss Karen Huger. Her cameo appears, and she's just looking at them while Danny and Haley is going off. Well, Danny is going off on Haley, and while Haley's trying to calm Danny down, Danny said, it's okay, I'm fine. Like, she's like, I'm going to give you your house. Let me be the first one to give you your housewarming gift. And Danny slapped this lady. She slapped Haley so hard, you could hear it from a mile away. Oh my God, that just tickled me. And Haley is just standing there holding her face, and everyone is just looking at her. Like, all the Duprees just looked at her and gave her this stink, nasty look while they're walking out. And then here comes Karen with the finishing line on top of everything that is happening. Karen goes, welcome to the Fairmont Crest. I gagged. I was so okay. This episode, it was a really good first episode, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next coming episodes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share, and I'll see you guys in my next video.